Hey everyone, I'm Requiem, and today we're diving into the art and science of developing recipes as an R&D chef assistant. Whether you're looking to create the next viral dish, or just want to know how we kitchen nerds experiment with flavors, I've got you covered. So grab your apron, let's cook up some ideas together, and don't worry, no fancy chef hat required for this one. Step 1. Defining your goal or concept. First things first, every great recipe starts with a goal. Whether you're creating a dish for a restaurant, a dinner party, or just yourself, you need direction. Trust me. If you don't set a goal, your kitchen can turn into total chaos. We've all been there. So what's the vibe of the dish? Maybe you're working on something for a fall menu, or you want to reinvent a classic, like mac and cheese. Or maybe you're like me, and today you're fusing barbecue with Asian flavors. Why? Because who doesn't want smoked brisket wrapped in a tortilla with a miso glaze? Exactly. We're setting the bar high here, folks. Step 2. Research and inspiration. Research. The part where you get to nerd out over food. And I mean that in the best way possible. Here's the thing. Food isn't just about throwing things in a pan and hoping for the best. Okay, sometimes it is, but mostly it's about understanding what flavors work together, and why. I spend hours, sometimes days, digging into food history, looking at what other chefs are doing, and yes, scrolling through social media, because, as it turns out, TikTok food trends, they can inspire some pretty epic dishes. Whether you're getting ideas from cookbooks, or you're inspired by that viral pasta bake, it's all about sparking creativity. For my taco idea today, I'm pulling from traditional barbecue techniques and mixing it with Asian elements like miso and sesame oil. A little salty, a little smoky, a little sweet. It's about as satisfying as winning an all-you-can-eat nachos contest. Step 3. Ingredient selection and testing. Now that we've got the concept, let's talk ingredients. This is where the real fun begins. I like to think of ingredients as characters in a story. You've got your main character, like the smoked brisket here. Bold, tender, ready to impress. Then you've got the supporting cast. Your miso, your honey, your pickled ginger, each playing their part to bring balance and depth to the dish. But here's the catch. Not every ingredient is a hero. Some are like those background extras in movies. You don't really notice them, but if they weren't there, you'd totally miss them. You want balance. Something crunchy, something soft, something fresh, something rich. That's what makes a dish really pop. And let's be real for a second. When testing ingredients, it's not all fancy chef moves. Sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes it's, oh no, that's way too much garlic. And sometimes it's a surprise win. Like finding out that pickled ginger and barbecue sauce actually slap. Step 4. Testing and refining the recipe. Welcome to the trial and error phase, where things get messy. But in a good way. Testing is all about fine-tuning. The first version of a dish is rarely perfect, and that's okay. You taste, you adjust, you tweak. You might start with one idea and then realize, hey, this needs more acid. Or maybe I should dial back the spice before I knock someone's sock off. For my taco, the first time around, the miso barbecue sauce was a bit too salty, so I added a little honey to balance it out. It's like a game of flavor Jenga. Balance is key. But one wrong move and the whole thing could tumble. Oh, and don't forget to document everything. I know it sounds boring, but trust me, when you're trying to recreate that perfect balance of sweet, smoky, salty a month from now, you'll thank past you for writing it down. Step 5. Plating and presentation. Presentation. Now I'll admit, I'm a little guilty of focusing too much on taste sometimes, because hey, it's what's inside that counts, right? But when it comes to food, looks do matter. You want people to eat with their eyes first. So think about color, texture, and height when you're plating. For my barbecue fusion taco, I'm keeping things rustic but refined. Crispy Asian slaw, little drizzle of miso barbecue glaze, some toasted sesame seeds, and a bright pop of pickled garlic on top. It's like a tiny food rainbow in your hand. Oh, and add a lime wedge for good measure, because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that limes make everything better. Everything. Step 6. Final documentation and recipe consistency. Finally, we document. I know this part doesn't sound glamorous, but it's crucial. If you want consistency, and in a professional kitchen, that's not negotiable, you need a detailed recipe. I'm talking everything. Measurements, cook times, plating instructions, because what good is the world's greatest taco if you can't recreate it tomorrow? Plus, this helps if you ever hand off your recipe to another chef or collaborator. It's like sharing your culinary blueprint. That's how you build a strong kitchen team, by making sure everyone's on the same page from ingredient prep to final presentation. And that's the inside scoop on how we develop recipes in the R&D kitchen. From brainstorming to taste testing to plating. It's a process that takes time, patience, and a whole lot of passion. But trust me, when you nail that dish and see people light up as they taste it, it's all worth it. Whether you're an aspiring chef, a foodie, or just someone who loves getting creative in the kitchen. I hope this inspired you to start experimenting with your own recipes. And if you did learn something today, or you just want to see more food adventures like this, hit that subscribe button and stick around. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go create something amazing. Catch you in the kitchen.